sort of want is unchanged or unstoppable. To make something stay the same, or to make something frictionless? Like it can't stop no matter how much friction or anything would dictate. It should stop, like it would be able to phase through walls? Oh shit, here we go again. Got hiccups. Reliable damage and knockback. Let's try out getting reliable damage and knockback. By unstoppable, you mean no friction or a different type of unstoppable? I mean, the missile pack is always really good. Knockback still at 0. Do you do knockback? I mean, does anything do knockback here? The bullets do, but not much else. Speed, radius, max health. I don't care about max health. Stop giving me max health. Wings. Unchanged can make anything non-living not able to change, such as air, blood, water, etc. It can't be changed unless you make it so. Only affecting... Right. Only affecting non-living things. Like, always purified water, no matter what they put in it. Purified water is always gonna be purified. Unstoppable is a self-targeting one which allows you to not be able to stop moving and build up more and more speed until you stop moving or take a lot of damage, then it restarts from 0. Becoming frictionless. Angel wings. Or maybe even having constantly clean blood instead of having like a poison coursing through your veins. If that's actually how poison works. I'm not just thinking of something stupid. They have friction, they just constantly build up speed. Plasma lamp stuns is basically kind of sort of like knockback. Unchange is more like if they use their power on water or air, they can walk on it since it doesn't change in shape to move around you. Oh. Oh. Huh. Anything non-living not able to change, such as air, blood, water, etc., that can be changed unless you make it so. Unless you make it so. Keeping it exactly as it is right now. Like, make the molecules not move at all. Keeping them stationary. If they would part ways, if there was any weight put on them, that's negated. Okay, something like that? Wait, if it also affects blood, then you could just kill a person like that. Kind of a roundabout way of making somebody's heart stop moving. Area around them unchanging beside the base of their feet so they can make an unbreakable barrier. You can make a barrier out of anything like that. Air, water. How do you make a barrier out of blood? You would have to carry around blood bags if you want to make it out of blood. Like blood outside the body. Like Andy's blood being thrown at you. Like carrying around a blood bag. Okay. Instead of just cutting somebody and using the blood that flows out. Like a more sane way of using it. If we're going for knockback, might as well go all the way. I feel like I was about to ask a different question, but I immediately forgot. I need to achievement for the crowns. Right, can you, like... I just remembered. Can you... make... like, an area, a small area of something like air or water unmoving, and then... does it just stay in that spot? Or can you grab it and move it yourself? Kinda like making a sword out of air. Is that a possibility, or does it just a block of unmoving air? A blade of concentrated air. You can wield blocks of air. Alrighty. Or blades. Blades is probably more effective. I mean, throwing a basically invisible brick is also a fun idea. Ah, tits. Fuck it. Oh my god, you could be the most effective mime. That is the stupidest use of that ability, but still, you could be the most effective mime. Makes a large area of unmoving mortar and uses it like an arena. Hey. Or you can... I don't think you can throw without... Ow! How will I ever become... an invisible serial killer? Throwing invisible bricks at people. Moves when you touch it, but once you stop it stays in place. Okay, moves when you touch it. Alright, what about making it a brick on a string? What about a type of flail? Why am I so dedicated to this idea? I don't know. Power I hate the most is unknown, which makes you unnoticeable by any means and you can't turn it off. Effective invisibility, except not really. It's just people look past you. Effective invisibility. Less cooldown, more weapon size. More cooldown, less weapon size. Kinda suck. Less health, more XP. Less speed, more size. Less cooldown, more size. Already an invisibility power which is unseen, and it works when the user closes their eyes. So as long as they have their eyes closed, they become invisible. Like Imp's power minus the forgetting you existed to begin with. So they remember you existed, but they can't fucking see you. Is there a way to, like, make your presence known? Like, leaving a note that says, hey, I'm right here. Or does that also remain ignored? Anchovies and bigger enemies and Berserk. Alright. I should probably try and get some stat upgrades. So yeah, it's effective invisibility, except not really. You could still theoretically be seen. If they could, but they just ignore you. Like, you're not transparent. Not at least not to you. Oh, cool, a health vial. Yeah, I can definitely use that. Yeah. Projectile speed, and size. That's good enough. Yeah. You can leave a note. The person who has the power actually makes a manga to get the attention of the Union to help and uses an artifact. The one that tells you about all the... that tells you all... Oh my god. The one that tells you about all the previous loops and the current one's ending. That allows him to draw anything into realities, just such as a giant pencil or persona of a person they want to create. That's how they communicated during the arc before the artifact got destroyed. Very sad backstory. I'm gonna reread that. Note, you can leave them out. The person who has the power actually makes a manga to get the attention of the Union, to help, and uses an artifact, the one that tells you about all the previous loops and the current one's ending. You can see how this current loop ends. Like, you can already see that this loop is gonna end. That allows him to draw anything into reality, such as a giant pencil or a persona of a person they want to create. That's how they communicated during the arc before the artifact got destroyed. A very sad backstory. How does knowing about the previous and current loop allow you to draw anything into reality? I'm not seeing the correlation between those two things. You can see how the current loop was intended to end when you touch it, but not after the changes you make. It's averting a way in which the loop ends. But if you avert those changes, can you touch it again to see how you can avert the changes of the loop ending again? Can you reuse it? Can you constantly keep averting the end of the loop? Okay, this time the loop is gonna end like this. We have to do this. Okay, this time it's gonna end like that. We have to stop that. Sort of deal. effects have their normal abilities, but some of the normal abilities have the ability to give you a vision. Also, no, you can't. It's a one-time thing. I mean, saves you the grief at least once. Averting one way in it, which it all could end, that still sounds good enough. I mean, you could also use the knowledge on all the other past loops to see what else you could try and avoid. It's still good enough. That's what Injustice was already doing, but that hasn't been very effective. Injustice can live through the loops. That's what she's been trying to do with that information, but right? That's what we're referring to? She lived through a couple of loops and knows how to avert them in those specific ways, or at least learns what they have to look out for. That ability is only gonna be as useful as stopping those very specific conditions. So far, the only reason it seems that they might win is because of unluck. How? Who do they give bad luck? Who should they give bad luck to so that they have a chance to win? She leaves through more loops and knows what works and what doesn't, and who would help and won't. As in, the people who have a certain abilities, which one of these people with the certain abilities could help us and which ones could not? Projectile speed. I think yo-yos are affected, this ones are affected. Now, yes, 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 and yes. Okay. Projectile speed. God himself, that's who they give bad luck to. That was my guess, but also how would unluck be able to touch God? How do you reach God? Reach out and touch faith. Fuck it, let's go for the Halo and keep reducing my max health through other means. For it to be more effective, unluck should fall in love with God, right? It's most effective when she touches somebody she loves. So if she has a massive crush on God, then the amount of bad luck he gets would exponentially rise. Seems to be a physical person you can fight during Ragnarok, but they just haven't been able to kill him. Death by really bad luck. He's closing in on people, he's about to kill them, whip trips, and stabs himself with a really sharp rock in the eye and dies. I should have probably upgraded the plasma burster. The spare center here. I'll block every last one. Okay, well. There goes the flawless again. How would you tell somebody that they have to fall in love with God, the person that is responsible for the world ending multiple times? You have to fall in love for it to be the most effective. That would be super fucked up. I mean, if he's kind of attractive, maybe that could work. From the arc I'm on, we learn by the unknown guy negators. By the unknown guy, negators can create... But the unknown guy, do you mean the one that is constantly being ignored by everybody even though they really exist? Okay. Negators can create more rules on themselves by accident, not real rules, but perceived ones. Because, I mean, a lot of the concepts are perceived in the first place. And through this lesson from Unknown, we find out she can make her unlock catered to the person she touches if she knows the weakness. You have very bad luck on your weakness specifically. Okay. Probably Halo. Not really interesting. Baba. Not really what I'm looking for. Yada yada, maybe. Why not? Like Andy, for example, he can't exactly die with what, but with unluck, she can have her power. She can have her power instead permanently trap him. Maybe the hand one, I don't remember. By permanently trap him, do you mean like he will constantly trip on himself? Like, that's his weakness. Can't be killed, but he can be stopped, for example. Like that? Okay. Uh, okay, 3% first. That's my limit. Like stuck in a container where he can't regenerate in because it's so small. Like, oh no, what bad luck, I've fallen into this tiny container and I can't regenerate back to my full size. That kind of bad luck? Okay, I'm gonna wait for a cooldown upgrade. That seems to be my best bet here. Yum! Meanwhile, I'll just keep upgrading whatever I have access to. Even if it's not my favorite. Essentially, yeah. Lol Lamau. Trip into a tiny box and remain tiny. She can direct their bad luck into very specific scenarios that would affect them the most. Is that a good summarization? Figure out figure out more about God to make unlucky work on him. Like, what would really fuck them up? What kind of bad luck would fuck them up the most? What kind of event would Kevin go, ah, oh, fuck, that is just the worst. God, what rotten luck I have. Like that. Yeah, no, cooldown would be a massive here. Missile pack is still good enough. I mean, speed is also really good. Fuck. Shit. What do you think would be unlucky for a god? Nothing that would affect them Nothing that would affect the god themselves directly, more like the action others would try to have against them. Like, I have this artifact that could potentially kill you if it hits super accurately. Yeah, what are the odds of that happening? Really good because you have really bad luck. Oh yeah, it'll be super unlucky if you actually manage to one hit kill me with that thing. Sort of like that? Also, fuck me, I guess I'm taking speed instead of cooldown. Are there items that decrease a state while increasing another? Yeah, the drills that drop after you kill a boss. Those ones, a lot of them lower one stat while increasing another. The amount they decrease is lower than the amount they increase, so you effectively end up with a net positive. Like, that's an option. Another option would be a very particular statue that lets you trade one type of item for another. I would trade one type of item that it thinks not as useful as the rest for more cooldown. Like, that's also a possibility. Either that or I find another way of getting even more items at a time. Like a total of 14. But then I would just be kind of diluting the pool on my options. Yeah. Asking because I wanted to know how low you can get a stat. Solid question. So let's say you get one specific drill multiple times. Like one specific that reduces one stat and increases the other. And you keep getting that one over and over and over and over again. It would make things super annoying. Lowest amount of velocity would mean you're just crawling at a snail's pace. Attack size would mean that all of your bullets and items are the size of peas. Pickup would mean you literally have to step on the thing to pick them up, which is super annoying. Cooldown, you would attack once every 6 seconds. Projectile speed, they're just there. They're not moving. They just exist. It would suck. But how low can they actually go? That is a solid question. Like, maybe they have, like, a cap as to how low one of the numbers can go. How low is that number? Maybe it has a hard cap of 50. Oop, there we are. Riker's kind of feeling like the easiest boss. Because you can just, like, keep your distance super far away and let anything with a relatively long range hit them. Okay, well, I say that and then I get hit. I guess things that usually proc Riker to stand still, I don't have a lot of them. More health, just boring. Pickup. I can go without some pickup. More XP instead of health. Definitely more fun. Um, but plus 10 of speed. While one upgrade of speed only gives me 0.03. Like, this is definitely a really good trade. Compared to pickup radius, which I already have 181. Nothing covering low stats. What do you mean by nothing covering low stats? Max health. Don't remember what this fucker does. More curse? Like video-wise. Okay. Not a lot of people have experimented with that, then. That would be an interesting run. That would be an interesting idea for a run. It could definitely be done. Like, there's a series of upgrades, not upgrades, of perks you can get that lets you re-roll or block a certain item from appearing. That can probably be used on drills as well. So you can block anything, any drill you don't like, and keep re-rolling until you get a drill, one specific drill. Constantly, constantly cutting down one specific stat, increasing another stat. That could be something. I could definitely try that out. Whee! Yeah, fuck it. Maybe after this run I can actually do that and try it out. That might be interesting to experiment. Yeah, no, this thing isn't super worth it. The question is, which one would I be more comfortable with fully fucking tanking? Lowest HP, highest DPS? I don't think there's not a drill for lowering HP and more DPS. There is a drill for lowering HP and more XP gained, meaning you get even more upgrades, meaning you can effectively increase your DPS there. Okay, there is a roundabout way of doing low HP, high DPS. Very roundabout way, but a way nonetheless. And then we're talking about low health and... kinda like, fuck it, you know? Sell your blood. Sell your blood for speed. Oh, I accidentally broke the statue with a grenade. That's something that happens. You can blow up a statue with a grenade. That also gives you 0.25% of curse. Right. Was not paying good enough attention there. Was thinking what would be the best thing to upgrade. Shinobi is the one doing the most amount of work. This is at least making it a bit easier to select something I would trade for a different one, but I really need to find that particular statue, which is not easy. Or not super possible. Maybe I'll have to try it out, the lowering a stat to the lowest possible I'll mount another time because it's already getting kind of late. And I'm already getting kind of sleepy. Yee. More bullet. Grenades are so fucking good. Another grenade, you say? Very tempting. I should probably start upgrading other projectiles instead of just Shinobi. I can't just, like... For example, missile packs. Missile packs are always fucking good. I can't just rely on one weapon. One weapon can only kill a certain range and direction of enemies. Doesn't really sound like a correct word there, but wonder how many bugs can Taylor possibly control if there is an upper limit. What is her max amount of bugs controllable? What if there isn't? What if she can just calmly and distinctly control every single bug in her vicinity or in her radius? What if she could be able to control every single bug in her entire radius if it was absolutely packed with bugs? What if she could make an entire sphere of bugs reaching out to her complete range? And she could easily make it stay like a sphere. What if she could do that? God, I forgot how much fucking health she has. Okay, you stay a bit far away for this one, and the following one is the one where you have to stay super close. Yes, okay. Far away, close enough. Far away, then close enough. Okay, she still deals contact damage. And we're back to the first attack. Attack pattern. There we go. And then it's the grid, or she dies. Compact as many bugs as possible, then make them talk. Compact the giant full-range ball of bugs and make them scream like a giant speaker. Yes. Less weapon size, more cooldown. That is basically the thing I'm looking for.